champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome into the Husker Football Hour leading off Ticket Weeknights. I am your host, Austin Orman. If you have any thoughts, any comments, any questions on what we're talking about, you can hit us up on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line 402-464-5685. Main attraction, though, star of the show is the lead columnist for the Omaha World Herald. That is Tom Shatel. We visit with him on our VIP line brought to you by Aloe Fiber. That's where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Well, Tom, no such thing as a quiet week in Husker land. Off season be darned. What a week. What a week. Where to even start?
It's unbelievable. And it's great. It's been a lot of fun stuff.
Less fun for Husker volleyball, but fun fodder to talk about is the retirement of John Cook, breaking down in the middle of the week last week. Your reaction when you first heard that news, Tom?
Stunned. I wasn't home, and I saw on my phone. I got the email from the university, the release. I guess we were all stunned together. Nobody had it first. Nobody saw it coming, and I thought, well, I'm stunned, but because anytime news like that happens, you're surprised. But you think about it, it could have happened any time. It just, he chose now. So. And then, they saved us all a lot of work by announcing Danny Bustle Kelly about 10 minutes later or a half hour later, whatever it was. And so we didn't have to have a search. But when you think about it, he was going to have a team coming back next year that was going to contend for a national title again and be up there. And then probably the next 2 years, and probably every year after that, the way that Nebraska was recruiting at the highest levels they have maybe ever, and getting they're just selecting all Americans out of the transfer portal. Just are they going to lose some, I don't know, but I mean, the point is he was going to win at a high level and have a Final Four type team every year. So he could have stayed and decided to do that, but he certainly cleared it up at the press conference. Talk about his grandkids. I mean, we sometimes forget these guys are men and women have got families, and a lot of them don't spend enough time with them because they can't. They have to be on call, and year round now with the portal, so it's they never get a break hardly, and when they're in season, they don't spend much time with their families. Not as much as they want to, and of course nobody gets to spend as much time with their families as they want to. But with coaches, it's really tough. So, you could hear that in his voice when he got emotional. I thought it was because family will get get to any man, any tough guy. Family will knock him down to size, and you could tell. And if he said as much, he didn't spend as much time with the family as he wanted to, and so he decided now's the time. And another thing coaches like to do, Osborne did it, Bob Stoops did it, others have done it, is they retire when they're on top so they can set up the next guy. And there were, in this case, the next woman. And so, and that I really admire that. There's a lot of coaches who are selfish, who are stubborn, don't want to leave, and they just kind of flame out. And and then it becomes hard to replace them. There's no plan. And I think, for me, a coach has an obligation to guys that are legends. The guys like Cook, they have a obligation to. They should be allowed to do whatever they want to in terms of when they want to leave. But I think they also have an obligation as somebody who. They built the program and have run a championship program, a top program. They have an obligation to make sure it stays at that level, or do the very best they can to make sure it keeps going. So I thought he did that. I thought he explained it very well, and here we are.
Here we are indeed with John Cook retiring from his post as head coach at Nebraska. Let's jump off of what you were just talking about, Tom, the transition, right? Extremely smooth with a guy like Troy Dannon, who hasn't been on the job for all that long. One of the first things he has to do, in a big picture sense, is replace not only a head volleyball coach, and not only a head volleyball coach of maybe the most successful program of the last, decade plus. I mean, 7 Final Fours in 10 years, playing for 3 national championships, despite, only winning 1 since 2017. Like you said, he's going out on top, and this is the first super major move that Troy Dannon has had to make as athletic director at Nebraska. How impressive is it that this didn't leak despite the conversations that started on Thursday and that they had Danny Busboom Kelly lined up pretty much right away?
Very impressive. In this day and age, to get it so nobody talks, and I don't know how many people were aware of it, but holy cow, it's impossible. Everybody's got a phone. Everybody can't help themselves. Everybody wants to be a celebrity on social media or insider. What I got it first. So yeah, it's impossible. So what they did is very impressive. And these things are not always automatic. Osborne handing off to Frank Solich was automatic. But they'd had years to talk about it. Tom knew they all knew what was going to happen one day. And we all thought Scott Frost, that was automatic. It wasn't quite automatic. He had to be kind of talked into it a little bit. I mean, I think it was. I think he at the time he knew he probably had to do it, but he kind of struggled with leaving UCF, and this was automatic, and I love it. It's the fact that she wants to do it, and there's sort of you have to have kind of a no fear factor with this job. It's a big job and a lot of pressure. But who better to handle it than a native daughter? Grew up here, played there, knows all the pressure. Took on Louisville and made that a Final Four, national title contender. You talk about pressure. Danny this past year had all the pressure because the Final Four was in Louisville, and so they were expecting her not only to get there, but hey, as long as you're on your home court, as long as you're in your hometown, why don't you win it? That'd be a storybook. And they didn't quite get there. They had a injury. Anna DeBeer was just, a terrible break. But so she's handled pressure. She's handled pressure as a player. So she's ready for it. And you can tell. I mean, this is a situation where they're probably not going to have to hire another coach for a long time. I mean, it's just she was made for the job and in a lot of ways raised for it. So cool.
And that's where, Tom, I look back to just even this past offseason in college basketball, where you see John Calipari leave Kentucky for Arkansas. I mean, Kentucky has, dyed in the wool blue blood when it comes to college basketball. And they kind of struggled to replace John Calipari, right? The calls to Dan Hurley and to Scott Drew were at least picked up and answered, but not fully returned. Then there's a couple days of rumor mill trying to find out who this big name program is going to hire. And they do ultimately settle on one of their own who's been really good for them in Mark Pope. But we've seen a lot of this recently when it comes to these transitions for these high-level coaches. Look at, say, Jim Boeheim at Syracuse, hands it off to Red Autry, a former player. Duke and Carolina, right? Krzyzewski to Shire and Williams to Davis. That's kind of been the trend. And my worry with hires like this, regardless of the program, is that the main selling point for the native son or daughter taking over the program is the familiarity, which I'm sure helps and doesn't hinder. But when I look at the Danny Busboom Kelly hire, Tom, I think it's just a bonus that she's a Nebraskan and she played for Cook and coached at Nebraska for a little bit too. She's entirely qualified outside of the Nebraska ties. And I think that is probably the main selling point for me.
Absolutely. I mean, and you look at it either way, that's the bonus, that she grew up to be this incredible coach. Again, I want to invoke the Frost comparison, but there's a guy that grew up to be the hot coach and everybody wanted him. And so, but yeah, I think she's, again, she's just the way she played, the way she coached, was just sort of no fear, just kind of a bring it on type of vibe with Danny Busboom Kelly, and she was always that way. So, but yeah, she's they were going to get somebody really good, but she's the whole package, and I think the Nebraska part of that can't be sold short because it means a little more, and it's you know what Nebraska volleyball means. Unless you're in it, it's hard to know what an incredible machine it is, and I mean, we're at a place now where I'm not going to say Nebraska volleyball is as big as football, but I'm not going to say it's not. I mean, the volleyball is bigger than any. It's one of the top women's sports in the country. That program is, and so it's really something. And I think it's great that they were able to get her, and she wanted to do it. And so and everybody understood. Louisville understood. Everybody. There was no. There was some heartbreak for her leaving there for their fans, but it was quick and easy, and and you just know she's going to be good.
That does seem to be the way things are headed, and we'll see more and hear more from her on Thursday at her introductory press conference. Let's keep it on John Cook for a second here, Tom. what is the athletic department missing out on with John Cook departing? I know he's not completely out of the picture. He says he'll be around and help out where needed, but you hear, Fred Hoiberg, Matt Rule, and other coaches talk about John Cook. The way they talked about him, it didn't just sound like lip service, like they had to say it. It sounded genuine, the connection that Coach Cook had with these other coaches. So what are these other coaches, and what is the athletic department missing with John Cook, not out of the picture, but more on the periphery right now?
Yeah, nothing. He's going to be probably more involved, I believe. I mean, one day, we was in there talking to him in his office one time, and he said he thought that one of the best jobs he thought something he would be very interested in one day was to be a coach's coach for Nebraska. Sort of a guy that, not like a therapist, maybe somewhere, some coaches probably need one, but a consultant, a guy that's been a coach, a sounding board, almost like a psychiatrist, not like that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just
somebody who knows what all the things that coaches go through, and now with all the extra stuff they have to deal with. He thought that would be a hell of a job for him. I think he could do that. I think he's going to have carte blanche, basically. I think Troy Dannon will just say, what do you want to do? We need your input. I remember some people, there were times when his name was coming up to be the next athletic director. I mean, every time there was an opening, what about John Cook? What about John Cook? So he's a guy who could do anything. He can meet with donors and raise money. He can coach the coaches. If you need a visionary planner, that's him. Common sense, that's him. So yeah, I really believe. And look, I've been around enough old guys that they don't like to sit around and do nothing. They, as long as John has time to go out west and ride on a horse once in a while, put on his boots and hat, that's all. But I don't think he's going to be the guy that's going to, play golf every day or necessarily. These guys, they can't get the life out of their blood. It's just in there, and these guys miss it so much. And what the part they miss is the locker room, the camaraderie, the games, the road trips, the process, the journey. It's a cliche. That's what these guys, the life. They miss the life, and so that's why a lot of coaches keep going, because it's so addictive. So I think he'll be around, and he'll get to dabble. He'll be very careful not to be in volleyball, in the way of volleyball. I don't think he'll do a lot there necessarily. He'll be there if he's needed, but he'll be very careful. Same way Terry Pettit was really not, he was not sort of a shadow. He let John, figure it out. But if he needed him, he was there. So, yeah, I think Cook will be around doing all kinds of things. And he'll have fun because he'll get to do stuff he never got to do. So, but he'll still be involved.
More time for TikTok, I guess, but that would be around the volleyball program. So I guess I
don't know about that. Yeah, that was not bad. He was happy to do that, but he's unless TikTok's going to go into the rodeo business or stuff, but I don't know if he's going to do that again.
We'll cross influencer off the John Cook checklist. He had his cameo there this last year. Tom, when you think about John Cook being synonymous with Nebraska volleyball, right? You go to watch a Nebraska volleyball game led by John Cook. You can't leave that fact out, or you haven't been able to, since the year 2000. Who are some other coaches that are in that same stratosphere as Cook, just in terms of how synonymous they were with the team or the program that they led?
You mean here?
Whether at Nebraska or nationally.
Oh, boy. Well, there's a lot of them. I'd have to, Coach K did basketball, Saban, Alabama. There's every school kind of has somebody. If I went to KU, we'd say Bill Self, Roy Williams. If I went to Missouri, we'd say Norman Stewart, or we'd say Gary Pinkel, or Iowa State, Johnny Orr. I mean, everybody's got somebody at some level. Nebraska football, Tom Osborne. Nebraska basketball, that's still up for grabs. But
is it not me?
Well, it is right now, but I don't think. If he just could have won a game, I think the guy who can win a game is going to be that guy.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I certainly think Nee is the all-time guy right now. But I don't know if that's what you think about. I mean, I guess you would. I mean, but it just seems like it's a program that doesn't have a lot of history, but it's being built slowly as we speak. So, but Creighton, Dana Altman, but they had a lot of guys. But yeah, I mean, I see it's an interesting question, but John Cook put his name on the building, Devaney Cook, and if people will wonder why is the football coach's name on a basketball building or a volleyball building, but he got the thing built. Devaney got it built when he was an AD.
Yeah,
it was sort of a. I mean, it was an athletic wonder at the time when it was in the mid '70s and that opened. You had the track in there, goodness sake, swimming pool and all this stuff. I mean, it was seen as quite the deal. And he had something to do with the cigarette tax to get it built. So they named it. They figured they had named something after Devaney. They weren't going to name the football stadium after him because of the World War I ties, obviously. But let's put his name on the basketball. It makes sense. So, but I love and Cook, respects football so much and loved being in Devaney's office when he was at the Coliseum, and I think that'd be kind of cool. Or and maybe they'll do a statue. But if they do a statue, do it right. Please include the cowboy hat. He can be standing there with holding a volleyball in one arm and have the cowboy hat or one hand and the cowboy hat on. But
the lasso at the belt, go the whole 9 yards.
I mean, there's possibilities there.
Let's wrap up the segment with this then, Tom. It's Devaney, it's Osborne, it's Cook. And who's the fourth on the Nebraska Mount Rushmore of coaches?
Well, boy.
You got options. That's the good part.
Yeah, you do. But is it Gary Pepin? Would you go there? Would you say Francis Allen? Would you say Dave Van Horn? Would you say these coaches, right? Not player.
Coaches. Mm-hmm. I was between three. I was between probably Pepin, Manning, and Ravel.
Yeah. Well, Pepin has national titles. The other two don't. But, Rhonda's story is still being written, as is Manning. That's a great question. Let's give it some time. Maybe there'll be a men's basketball possibility down the road somewhere. But if the current guy can get this thing going a little bit more, so that's a great question. We're anxious to see Jordy out there this spring and what she brings to that program, which should be everything. So, Rondo may, shoot up the charts there a little bit, but great question. Yeah, it was maybe that other guy is Matt Rule.
Hey.
Maybe there's a third football. I mean, would it be Pettit if you're going to do it that way? I don't know, but it's maybe it'll be Danny Buston Kelly. So anyway, great question.
We'll sit on it. We'll see, and I'm sure the answer can change depending on where you sit. You mentioned men's basketball. A lot going on with Matt Rule and the football team. Let's take our first break of the show. Matt Rule had a lot to say, some news, hired a special teams coordinator with some local ties. We'll get into that and more with Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald as we continue the Husker Football Hour.
Ready to spruce up your space? No matter what project is on your list, you can check it off at the Nebraska Builders Home and Garden Show, February 7th through the 9th at the Sandhills Global Event Center. With over 200 businesses under one roof, you'll find the latest in home innovations and experts to handle your dream projects. Admission is just $10, and children 12 and under are free. For more information, visit the Home and Garden Show online at hbal.org.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fear's Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fear's Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fear's Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Husker Football Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. I'm Austin Norman with you at 1040 O Street on our VIP line, brought to you by Allo Fiber. We have Tom Shatel, lead sports columnist of the Omaha World Herald. Let's dive into Husker football right now, Tom. Matt Rule spoke on Saturday. We'll get to that in just a second. But just yesterday, Nebraska secures its 16th transfer portal commitment, number 16, in the form of Rocco Spindler, interior offensive lineman, fresh off a national championship game appearance with Notre Dame. Huskers transfer haul, like I said, sits at 16 players. They have 2 offensive line commits as their last 2 out of the transfer portal. How do you grade what the Huskers have done so far up to spring practice in the portal?
Well, it's another offseason national title, right? I
Rack 'em
love
up.
that. You know, offseason success should be based on did you fill your needs, not where things are ranked. It's did you fill the need? Did you get what you needed and to be a better team next year? And I believe they did. I mean, we got to see them on the field, but great thing about the portal guys is you've already seen them on the field. So it's not like recruits. So yeah, I mean, Rocco, what a great name, and immediately right in your face on Twitter with run the damn ball. Rule number 1, run the damn ball. He's right in your face immediately. Now he and Coach Holgerson will have to get together on that a little bit, but love the attitude. I love more offensive line depth, and just the offensive line will be so important next year if they're going to take a step up. So yeah, it's a lot of good pieces. They lost some, obviously, but you're going to lose some.
Mm-hmm.
It's Matt Rule figuring things out. It's 2 years in. Immediately when he was hired, well, I'm going to develop. I'm going to do high school. I'm not really planning to do the portal. I would rather develop people. But you have to leave the door open to change because the game changes every year. I mean, the whole thing changes every year. And they're putting all this money into retaining players, giving them everything they would ever need. But they still want what the players crave most is playing time and money. And money. Don't forget the money. But the playing time. And so, and whether they have it here or not, or they just figure I need to go somewhere else, or I need to get paid more, or whatever, you're going to lose guys. So he got 16 in the portal. It's probably more than he ever imagined he'd ever do. But everything changes. This thing is evolving. And as we heard him say Saturday about the spring game and the tampering.
Do you think that his rationale fits for not having a spring game, especially not a televised one? Or do you think he's just trying to come up with something that he can spin? Is that a legitimate rationale to you?
Well, why wouldn't they do it then? I mean, what are they worried about? Injuries? But why not just say injuries? I mean, no, I think there's something to it. I think people do tamper. I think there's no rules. It's just, but yeah, to watch the spring game and decide a guy is a good player, okay, we've been doing that for years. And we thought, well, this guy is unbelievable in the spring game. He's gonna tear it up in the fall, and then we never hear from him again.
Right.
So we've been doing that for years, looking at spring games and trying to figure out who the next All-American is. But these coaches probably haven't figured out. So more power to them, man.
They are paid to do that, so they better have it figured out. It validates the high salaries.
They got a better eye than I do. They always have. But I have to make fun of it a little bit. But I don't care about the spring game. I think just come out and say, we're going to have a practice. They get, the complaints I've heard from a handful of fans is, this was the game where I could take my kids. We could afford to go. I could show them the stadium and see the team. And now we can't do that anymore. And I said, wait a minute. How do you know you can't do it anymore? Maybe it'll be better. Maybe it'll be 2 days of stuff. maybe it'll be a fan fest. Maybe it'll be everybody comes in and there's autographs. Maybe it's like the fan day in August. Now, 90,000 people, you can't sign everybody's autograph. But I'm saying maybe that's where that belongs, is in the spring. Turn it into a alumni weekend, flag football game, golf. What Troy Dennis said, the fall preview? Well, that's code for let's put Nebraska football and volleyball together in one big event. How would that be? So think about that for a minute. What that might turn into. That's more than one day. That's like 3 days. So, but is it good for the Lincoln economy? Well, people are coming to spend in the night. You're damn right. They usually a spring game. A lot of them just drive in and drive home. If you have a 2 or 3 day event, that the hotels or the bars or restaurants are going nuts. I mean, yeah, it's good for everybody. So, I mean, I think there's possibilities for this, but it was never a game. Even the starters were, one time Amir Abdullah and Kenny Bell had the hats on and they were playing tag or something. And then they wore shorts. They weren't out there. It's just, it became this thing, a lot of us remember, when the spring game was a serious thing. Mm-hmm. It's lost its seriousness over the years as people are afraid of getting hurt. And, and now they're afraid of people watching their players. So I don't care. It's funny. Just to me, here's an opportunity to do something really good, really big, and include volleyball. Mm-hmm. Bring back volleyball alums. I mean, bring them all back. And of course, some of them are playing with the Supernovas, but give them a day off. Come on in. But I think it's there's a lot of stuff that could be done, and of course they could put a 1890 NIL thing in there somewhere. You don't forget that. They got to, so they're going to raise money for that. That's opportunity. It's a big opportunity for that. So I think it'll be fine. I did believe him. So to answer your question, I think there's probably some of that going on because people will do anything right now. So, and they did lose 6 guys last year, right? So, who knows? This stuff, this portal stuff, is all in the shadows. It's kind of weird, a little bit kind of slimy, kind of, do I really want to know much about it? Not probably not, but it's weird. It changes every year.
That it does. Matt Rule also had a lot to say on Saturday about the roster and his vision for how it's going to look. The top 53 to 57, he said, were you're too deep, essentially, and then some. And then, the guys in the middle, the 38 to 40, are going to be competing for spots. But then, Tom, he did also say something to the effect of the bottom 10 spots on the roster are going to be those positional flexibility and culture setting type players that he doesn't want to get rid of, even with the walk-on program as we used to know it, basically defunct with the advent of the 105-player roster. What did you make of Matt Rule coming out and saying kind of what his general outline for the roster was?
What I think is what a time to be a coach right now, and not everybody's going to be cut up for this, but I think having NFL experience, Matt Rule's always thinking. He's never resting. He's always trying to, how can we be better? And so this is perfect for him, that this thing is evolving, and it's probably a little maddening that it never stays the same, keeps changing, but now this roster limit, he's all over it, and I give him credit for thinking like this. You got to be outside the box on all this stuff. Whether it's getting rid of the spring game or changing it, or what did he say? Top 57, or was it 57 or 40 or something? Yeah, but yeah, I mean, who would have thought of that? Well, he did, and so. It's really interesting right now, this stuff, and every coach is going to have to do that. And so, it's Yeah, I mean, to me, 105. I mean, what's 85? There's 20 more. So it's not like you couldn't have I mean, yeah, you're used to having 100 and whatever, but 130 or 40. But when it comes to somebody getting hurt in the spring game, I mean, that's not number 120. That's the guy who's in the 40s or 50s. So who's going to step up. So it's just what I loved about it is the fact that he said, hey, and the fact that he has to say this is crazy, but he says, money's not going to dictate who plays. I mean, right. I love that, and that's what you want to hear. But the fact that he had to say it is nuts. That's what I mean. College football right now is nuts, but you're hearing things and seeing things that you never thought you'd hear or see, but at least we're just get it out there and kind of admit it. So it's a message to people who want to come to Nebraska in the portal. Well, what do you got for me? How much can I make? Well, you're going to have to earn your your playing spot. So it's a good message, and sure some I'm not going to say some guys would probably not want to hear that. Everybody in the portal, everybody who thinks they're getting big money, they all think that they're going to play. They all think that they're better than the next guy. That's how the the great players and the really good players think. So I don't think it'll bother anybody. But I thought it was a good message.
The other move that came out today was Nebraska has its special teams coordinator. Tom, it's a familiar face in Mike Eckler. How good a hire is this for Nebraska?
I love it. It's a very good hire. A lot of experience. He was at Kansas State. He was the kickoff team missile. The guy going down the field at 100 miles an hour, running into things. And he used to. I remember when he was here for the first time with Pelini, talked to him about this. He used to. He had a reputation at K-State for after the kickoff, he would run into the wall on purpose. He would go flying into the wall with his helmet and try to make a dent in the wall. I mean, he's just one of these, kind of crazy guys that were, a little bit out there. And you kind of have to be like that to be good on special teams. And but Rule sets up on Saturday that would kind of caught my eye. Well, he said that the problem with the special teams was not schematics. It was not the scheme. And some of us kind of rolled our eyes like, well, when there's a block punt or there was
seems schematic from our vantage point.
it wasn't the snapper. Snapper didn't cause all the problems. The block punt wasn't the snap in the Yankee Bowl. But there's something to be said for this. I don't think scheme is really the big issue with special teams. Special teams is you having the right personnel on the best football players out there, the fastest, the biggest, the guys who hit the hardest, but the guys who also aren't going to bust assignments. Mm-hmm. I think execution is more is why block punts happen. Somebody misses a block. Somebody forgets what they're supposed to do. Busted assignments. That's what causes, the failed punt returns. Somebody, you're not doing your job. And so, Eckler is a lifetime student of the special teams. I think he'll be great. But his key is, and our good friend Bill Bush told me this a while ago, that key to special teams is getting your starters to buy in. The starters buy in and want to be on special teams. Everybody does. You just kind of raises the bar up. But you got to have a passion for it. You got to want to do it. And it's the special teams coach's job to be kind of like not a cheerleader, but a guy who's a salesman, sells it as truly equal to offense and defense. Like, this is an important thing for us to do. And, doesn't only have to be a salesman. Dan Young was the guy for Osborne. And good old Dan was very soft-spoken. But you could probably get after him a little bit when he had to. But, it's an expectation, and that needs to change. Nebraska's expectation for special teams needs to go way up. And I think Eckler's the kind of guy who could do that.
We will certainly see. You get homecoming for him, of course, born and raised in David City, Nebraska, coached at Nebraska before as well. Let's take our second break of the show. When we get back, let's talk some Husker hoops, 2 in a row against ranked teams. We'll do that, and we'll wrap up the Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel in just a sec. Salt Lake City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
The Jerky Bowl has kicked off at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. From now until halftime of the big game, every online order gets you entered into their incredible giveaway. The grand prize is a 30-bag jerky sample pack, $225 value, while second place is a 15-bag sample pack, while third place is a Be Mine jerky box. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Order now at smokinggunjerky.com, and if you enter promo code EARLY, you'll not only get 10% off your order, but also be entered twice for the drawing. It's the Jerky Bowl at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Bryant at 402-467-1111 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-1111.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
Ever wonder what it's like to work for a company that actually cares? At Lincoln Industries, they're revolutionizing local manufacturing while taking care of their most valuable asset, their people. When you join their team, you'll enjoy comprehensive health coverage, wellness initiatives that work around your life, and benefits that show they're serious about your future. Plus, you'll be a part of a proud manufacturing tradition right here in the community. Don't just take their word for it. Visit LincolnIndustries.com to see all their current opportunities and find out why their people love calling Lincoln Industries home.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back one final time here to the Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. He joins us on our Allo Fiber VIP line. That's where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Tom, did you write off the Husker men's basketball team after that 6-game losing streak?
Well, no, I didn't. I just said I went to see Hoiberg on Fred, I think the day before the Illinois game, and I just said he put all his chips on the table and said, "This is a Super Bowl." And I've never heard of basketball coaches too many basketball games. Even football coaches are reluctant to do that, but add too much emphasis on one regular season game. Because if you lose it, it's like it's over. You know, how do you recover? So they're all very squeamish about doing that. Fred just said, "Hey, this is and it was a great gamble on his part, and it worked. What also worked was Illinois couldn't hit a shot. I mean, they couldn't hit the boat if they fell out. Could hit the ocean if they fell out of a boat, but." Whatever, it worked. They won in overtime. It was a big win, and you could tell last night they kind of took a deep breath, and okay, here we go. They remembered what got them there: defense, and then your star players have to take over. Gary and Williams. The great thing about a college basketball season is that. And now these things are 18-game conference seasons, and they go forever, but they give you enough time to recover. And so the other good thing about it is the Big Ten, which we thought would be down, is actually doing pretty well. So there's a lot of quad one wins in this league. Nebraska now has 4. Creighton, UCLA, and I don't know if the Oregon State one, because it was neutral. I don't know if that counts or not. Oregon State's kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
But now you've got Illinois, now you've got Oregon. You got 4. Now there's several left on the schedule. They have Ohio State Sunday, Maryland next week. Those are quad one possibilities. Then you've got Michigan in a couple of weeks. That's a quad one. So all of a sudden, these opportunities to climb back into this thing are all over the place. And as I was reminded today, looking at the NCAA, the NCAA page on the net, the quad one is 1 through 75 on the road. So that's Northwestern. And then it's also Penn State. And they go to Columbus again. So they got Ohio State twice. there's opportunities here to put together a lot of good wins. And so they're right back in it. Lenardi today had them on their next 4 out. So not the first 4 out, but the next 4 out. So they climb back into the picture real quick. So if they get a couple next week, they'll be right back in. So no, I don't write anybody off. I mean, of course I've done that with Nebraska basketball forever, but no, I try not to write anybody off this quick. It's too soon.
And I think that's smart with a coach like Fred Hoiberg. I mean, you go back just 2 seasons ago when the 2 prized transfer portal additions and Emmanuel Bandamel and Juwan Gary go down with injuries. That team goes on a slide. They lose 5 of 6, and then they win 6 of 8 to end the year and climb their way back to 500. I had people on the text line and comments and everything telling me Nebraska wasn't going to win another game in January. And I can't discount what they were saying because it didn't look good. But at this point, Tom, I think Fred Hoiberg has earned the benefit of the doubt. I think Husker fans are still scarred from most of the previous 2 decades and the team's unraveling. But I had to keep telling people, chill. No, it doesn't look good right now. Yeah, they got to pull their heads out of the sand and figure something out. But Fred Hoiberg's a darn good coach. He's pressing the right buttons again. But that leads me to this question. How sustainable is it, right? The hard work's not over. Nebraska still has to dig itself out of the hole. How sustainable do you think these last 2 games, the energy, especially in leaning into the defense, how sustainable do you think that is?
Well, it's very sustainable, but as we saw during the 6-game slide, it went away, and the confidence can be very fragile. But the Wednesday Washington game is so important. You come home, that thing will be sold out Sunday, and then people, Super Bowl Sunday, Ohio State, it's going to be rolling, and so. But you need to keep going here. You can't take a step back. And I don't know what kind of crowd they're going to get at Washington. They're not having the greatest year. They just won at Minnesota. But yeah, Nebraska just worry about one thing: showing up every game, same way with defense, and then your 2 superstars, your 2 stars show up and take over. Last night they hit their free throws. For God's sake, how did that happen? It made important. I was sitting watching, going, "Okay, well, here we go." It was down to 4 points and shooting free throws. Well, here we go, and they made them. So, I just, they've gotten a break a little bit. With they allow teams. We talked about this last week. They allow teams to shoot threes, and that's a gamble. And Creighton worked out great. UCLA was terrible. Couldn't hit anything. And Illinois the other night, they kept jacking them up. Bam, bam, and clang, clang, clang goes the trolley. It was just one after another where, miss and miss. And after the game right under, well, that's just how we do it. Well, okay, great. Thanks for doing it that way, because they kept showing up throwing threes and they had no chance to go in. So that helped Nebraska get that W. So they've dodged the bullets there a little bit. The last night was not about Oregon missing threes. It was they just they took away the inside and made a lot of like Fred said, the team had the hands are everywhere. They're helping. They're stealing passes and getting in the middle of lanes and showing a lot of good instincts. So, you'd like to think that defense would be there all the time. They took, I think the Iowa thing was a gut punch, and then it was followed up by the worst possible road trip,
right, at
Purdue. So all of a sudden, but they needed. They gathered themselves now. The season has given them a chance to regroup, and then they're doing it. So let's see. It's going to get fun.
Last one for you then, Tom, before we let you go. Did you make your way to Baxter Arena with a 5-gallon trash can to put your popcorn in?
I've got in my little office shrine, I have one of those old metal tin trash cans that's got college football pennants on it. I was going to bring my college pennant trash can, but it's so old and ratty. I didn't want to put popcorn in there. So,
Fair.
No, I did go. It was a wonderful night. There were trash cans everywhere. It's a fun story. They got back on track too. So a lot of good hoops around here. It's a fun time of year.
All you have to do is open your eyes and pay attention. We do that through the lens of Tom Shatel here on Monday nights. As always, Tom, it's been fun. Appreciate your time. We'll do it next week.
See you, Austin. Thanks.
That's Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald with us on our VIP line, brought to you by Aloe Fiber. That's where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. I'm going to get out of here. We got the Don't Punt Hour coming up next year as we continue Ticket Weeknights.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Bryant at 402-467-1111 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-1111.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and it will be breezy. Falling temperatures throughout the day, a high near 41. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, below near 20.